Yo, been a little while. I haven't been on this account in a little bit. Oh, hold up. So today I'm gonna be trying to work on this little add-on pack that I'm working on. Right now it's just called Universe Game. I'm not exactly sure what the full goal of it is, but I guess I could show it off a little bit and then we'll talk about it a little bit before we get into the actual coding and stuff. Okay, so when you spawn, right now the whole jumping is all broken, but ignore that. When you spawn in this like chamber thing with space blocks all around you, and you'll spawn with just a single pickaxe. And if you break them with this pickaxe, well, actually with any pickaxe, you get these items. And as you can see, we get down quarks, up quarks, gluons, and electrons. And you also spawn with this crafting table, which is the universe table. And this allows you to craft neutrons and protons. And then with the neutrons and protons, along with electrons, we can craft atoms. I know it seems a little confusing right now, but the whole point of this is because there was a Java mod pack called Universe IO, and it's a very, very good mod pack. I think it might have been the person's first mod pack they ever made on Java, so it was pretty impressive for what it was. Anyways, the reason I have to do everything from scratch is because, well, I don't really like using other people's add-ons in add-on packs. It just doesn't feel right because of the fact that, like, I mean, I guess if I just ask people, it'd probably be fine, but I don't know. Certain add-ons just won't fit with this, and so a lot of the add-ons I do want are going to have to be custom made anyways because they don't really exist for Bedrock, as far as I'm aware at least. And so, yeah. Anyways, if I go ahead and right-click on these blocks, you can actually pick them up. And you can see I get the space block. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've gotten done so far. So now that you're caught up, we can go ahead and leave. And we'll start taking a look at the next part. So the next part I wanted to do was add in another Java mod called Alchemistry. I think that's the name of it. I think it goes by a couple different names because of it being ported around from Forge to Fabric, and then it probably got deprecated on Fabric, so then someone chose to report it and then change the name again. I'm not really sure. All that it really does is adds elements to the game. So, like, let's say you have gold, you have iron, you have carbon, you have hydrogen, you have helium, you have literally every element on the periodic table, and you can deconstruct blocks and items into the core elements, and then you can recombine them into whatever you want. So, like, let's say I could take a potato, I could turn it into triglycerides or whatever it, or starch, and then starch is made out of carbon and hydrogen and oxygen or something like that. And then I take all the carbon, and it takes quite a bit of carbon, but I could take that and then I can combine it into a diamond because diamonds are carbon. So it's kind of like Project D in a way, where everything has an EMC value, but it's just a little more realistic in a way, because EMC is like, technically it could be realistic, but it's not, because the prices and everything do not correlate to like electrons and atoms and what makes up the atom. Whereas the alchemistry, it's not going to be like 1-to-1 real life to the game, but it's going to be like close enough where it's fun and it's a cool little add-on to play with. And so that's kind of what we're going to be working on right now, is just that alchemistry mod. So I kind of want to boot up Unity. And then let me try and find it, because it's been a little while since I've actually worked on this. Oh yeah, actually quite a while. So in Unity, I made a little 2D project so that I could kind of render out the icons for all of the elements in the periodic table, and so I already have done that. They're not really perfect, but they're good enough for what I'm doing. And so the next thing I want to do, I think, is go into Unity and try to code in it generating the item files so that I don't have to manually do that every time I make a change or anytime an update happens. All these items are going to be basically the same when it comes to the code. So if an update happens, I'd rather only have to change one file rather than having to change however many elements there are. Okay. So as you can see, it's just like a little icon generating scene. So if I were to click play, it would go over every single one of these elements on the side. I've set them all up to where they have a color. They have, none of this stuff is actually useful yet. That's just for when I wanted to generate it, because let's say I want to generate a dust, I want to generate an ingot, and I want to generate a nugget, depending on if it's an ore or a metal. And if it's not a metal, then I want to generate probably crystal, or I want to generate just something else, like a liquid or a gas. And so that's where this is all going to come into handy, or come in hand in the future. Right now, it's not very useful. Well, actually, it does nothing right now. But the color and the symbol and the name are used, I believe. So if I scroll down even more, actually, it hasn't generated the icons, so let me go ahead and run it. And I messed up because I think I need to disable this, re-enable this, and then we'll turn off the audio listener on this so we stop getting that error. Save it, and now we run it. Nope, still not going to do it. Okay, the reason's probably because I don't have the script. Generate images was turned off. So let's go ahead and turn that on, and let's run it again. Now it's going to go through every single one of those, take a screenshot of this preview window, and then save them all to the disk. And then once this is done, we could use this for really just generating the items. But right now, I'm kind of curious if what these are going to look like in game. So I'm just going to set up a blank project in Bridge just for testing, and then see if it even works, because I know that there's always been an issue with Minecraft Bedrock when it comes to larger texture file sizes. So like, what I mean by that is, notice how the font, or actually right here, you can see it's a 256 by 256. That's the file size of this preview window. So when it generates the file, I'm pretty sure it's a 256 by 256, just to retain some type of resolution on the symbols. And so now that that's done, okay, actually, let me finish what I was saying. Anyways, the symbols, because I'm generating it a 256 by 256 texture size, in game, it ends up being so large that it's like you're holding it and it's like in your head, like the item is just really big. And so I kind of want to fix that, if I can figure out how to, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and try to find the textures really quick. Wait a minute. Save to... Oh, it saved in Unity. My bad. I thought it saved to a other folder. So I'm assuming it's right here. Yep. So here's all the textures with all the colors and the symbols on them. And I believe this is every single element on the periodic table, because I did kind of go over every single one manually. Although the colors for the textures are like, I don't really know where the colors came from, you know? It was more like, this is the periodic table color, not the actual color of the element. So like if I find iron, it's probably not the color of iron. And like this gold, I mean, I guess I could call that gold, but let me find iron. Yeah, I don't think iron is this color. Pretty sure iron's like more of a blackish gray than red. Like rust is this color. Well, it's still not even red, but you know what I mean. So with all these textures, I'm just going to go ahead and we'll make another bridge project. This is going to load forever because I have so many projects. We'll just call it large item texture. Test. Just call it JA for now. Add it directly to the manifest. We will get rid of all these. Keep that. Don't need biomes. Don't need sounds. Or actually, should I use sounds.json? Does that work for blocks? Because if so, I've been using blocks.json, but maybe I should be using sounds. I don't know. It'll probably generate whatever I need anyways. I'll just leave those. Splashes I don't need. I really don't need terrain texture yet. But there we go. Okay, so now if I go ahead and make a new item, let me just go ahead and switch scenes just so I don't dox myself. Stream Deck. Okay, I guess that button doesn't work. Oh, no, it's because... I see. Here, I'll just disable that, I guess. Yeah, I'll just disable that, and then let me just go find this texture. Okay, I found it. And then bring this back. Okay, so here's all the textures. I guess I could just start with the first one. It doesn't really matter. I just want to copy that. So, actinium. So just like that. Now in Minecraft, we'll create a new world. Creative, we'll turn it to always day. I want to see I want flat world and coordinates. Experiments don't matter. Oh wait, hold up. I don't think there's anything that would leak anything in here, but you never know. Okay. So we're in game. Let's go ahead and find this item. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. It's just super, super large. It looks good though, other than it being really big. So let's go ahead and try to figure out how we can change the size. So I know in like 1.16.100, that was one of the versions I remember having a render offset. Although it's not showing up. Render. Huh. Maybe I need 1.20.30. Wearable, use modifiers. No, that's not anything that I really want. I think I'm going to have to add something to the player. Not the player.json, but I'm going to have to add it to the player animation, possibly. Or at least the player render controller. Here, let me open Discord and let's check out the official, I wouldn't say official, but the add-ons Discord and just see what other people are saying to do. Large item. Okay, so we'll put this over here with bridge over here. Okay. So I know what attachables are, but I don't like using them for items. Do I have to do that? Yeah, I do. Honestly, I might just use their large item geo. Custom geometry. We'll throw it in a new folder, call it models. Create file. This is going to be large item. Oh, this is supposed to be .geo.json. There we go. Right item. Then we need a render controller. Render controllers. This is large item dot render controller dot JSON. Copy that. Then we need an attachable. We'll call this large. Oh, it has to be a. Shoot. So I'm going to have to make an attachable file for every single item, which is going to be really annoying. I was hoping I could just query something on the human render controller. Like query if the item being held has a certain tag, or if it has a certain, well, probably, yeah, just tag. And then if it does, then just render it smaller, but I guess that's not how it's going to work. Let's copy that. New file, attachable, paste. Really? Okay. So we'll get rid of that. We'll go J. That. Is it just going to be the path? Replace path with the file. Should match up with the file. Yep. Enchanted. That should be fine. Default. Geometry.large item. Do I have that? Yes. Why you no work? Is it because I renamed it? I bet you it is. Geode copy. Let's delete this one. I guess I can't. What is happening? Models. It's empty. What? Okay then. Create file. Large item dot geo dot json. There we go. So now we can go back up here, copy this. Bro, for real? I mean, it's there for me. It does exist though. It's literally right here. Oh no, those two didn't exist. But this one does. Okay, so now it's showing it. Animation, large item hold. So, new file, animation. Call it large item. Dot animation. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what's going on with Bridge. I don't know why it's like failing to save and everything. Yeah. Here, I'm gonna restart Bridge. What did I just call that? Large item something. Okay. So now if we try to save, okay, it finally did it. Perfect. This, I'm not really sure if I have to add that in that texture. I don't think I need to. But anyways, I think this is good. Let's go ahead and try it. Geometry not found. You're saying geometry.large item is not found? Let's restart watch mode, I guess. Now let's try. Geometry not found. Oh, now it just doesn't show at all. Controller.render.large item. Then we have controller.render.large item. That's a render controller and the attachable. Then it runs the animation. Large item. And then I don't think I put a model or anything on the item. Geometry.default. And geometry.large item. I wonder why it's saying that. Here, let me double check that it's showing up in the behavior pack or something. Because if it's not showing up in the behavior pack or the resource pack, then I don't even... It's probably bridge because it was like breaking when it was trying to save. So we got attachables. We got animations. We got models. Here, I'm going to delete this entire thing because it looks like it's got a lot of duplicates. Attachables. What? Okay, it doesn't have duplicates. Ah. Okay. Large item animation. Looks good. One render controller. Okay. So now let's try it. Same error. Geometry not found. I mean, is it saying that that's not... Okay. I guess the only thing I could think of is maybe the folder that I named is the wrong folder name. I guess I could check bridge for that. I don't have to open the sample packs. So I got animations. That's right. Attachables. That's right. Did I spell it wrong? No. Render underscore controllers. Models. And then it's under entity. I don't think that matters though. Entity. Oh, there we go. It's a lot better. Although, I feel like something's off there. First of all, it's like flipped 180. Here, maybe that's something in here though. If we do hand equipped is true. So right now it's like that. I almost want it to be like facing me, like with a map. Like how when you hold a map, it does that. Okay, that didn't really change anything. And then the rotation is gonna be the Y rotation. Yeah. So if I'm first person, it's at -15. So we don't want -15. We want -105. Well, actually, wait. It'll just be +15. Okay. Did that change anything? Like it feels like it's a little better, right? Oh, it changed it like weird. Okay. Then I guess that's the wrong rotation. So we could put that back. Then let's check in third person and see. I mean, I kind of want it to be identical to the third person. Like how it's in my hand right now, that's how I want it in first person. So let's do 0 and let's do 15. I think we're also going to have to scale it down. Ooh, what the? Okay, so that's not going to work. Let's try that then. It's just weird because Minecraft's like what is this rotation? And there's no way to query time, is there? I wonder if... So C. What is C? We'll just go to the query functions. So context, okay. Math. I don't need any of that. Although I guess I could do a loop. How does loop work? I just kind of want to like loop one of these. What's up, Captain? I'm trying to make like a, so there's this mod pack on Java Edition that I really liked, and so I'm trying to like recreate it in a way, I guess. And so I guess I could show it. I don't really have much going on for it right now, but there's also another mod called Alchemistry on Java Edition that I'm trying to like add in. So this is kind of like an add-on pack. So I have to kind of make each add-on for this world. But these are all like space blocks, and this is where you spawn. And if you mine them, you get quarks, gluons, electrons, and yeah, that's all you get from that. And then you can craft them into protons and neutrons, and then you can craft those into atoms. And then atoms would be used to craft elements. So that's where alchemistry comes in. And so this is like the universe add-on that I made. Right now it's very simple. It's just this. But because I'm making the alchemistry add-on, if I show this, I've actually added every single element in the entire periodic table. So this is all the textures it's generated. I made like a texture generator so that it could like generate a higher resolution one with the symbol on it. But now I'm running into an issue because it's a higher resolution texture. The item shows up as this giant item in game. And so now I have to troubleshoot that and try to figure out how to get it working. As you can see, it's like all broken right now. It's like facing the wrong way, and then the sides are all cut off because I'm trying to use a custom model to like resize it. But because of that, if I look at the model, you can see it's using texture meshes, which I have no idea what that is. Nor do I know exactly how those work. So if I delete it, let's see what happens then. Oh, really? Dude, I love chemistry. Well, okay, I don't love chemistry, but I like Minecraft chemistry. It's a lot easier. It's just like I always like the idea of being able to take potatoes, get the starch from it, break down the starch into carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen or whatever, and then take all the carbon and combine it all into diamonds. Because I mean, diamonds are just carbon. And so like I always liked that idea, but Bedrock just never really had add-ons that went after that. I'm sure there's probably an add-on that does it, but I'm trying to make like every single recipe that's in the Java version. And most people will sit there and like make each item by hand, which takes them who knows how long. Whereas with me, I know how to code, so I'm making like a generator that generates all the items. So if an update comes out and it breaks all the items, I can just update a single item and then regenerate all the items because I don't want to have to like go and change 250 files like a normal person would have to do. Yeah. Chemistry is definitely like, when it comes to actual chemistry, it's a lot more. Because I mean, comparing actual chemistry to just like looking at a crafting table and seeing a recipe and just clicking on it, it's a little different. But also, I don't know what that whole texture mesh thing is because I didn't actually see a difference after removing it, so maybe I don't need it. I guess the main thing is that, like, if you notice on the texture, it's like not generating the sides of the text for some reason. Although I feel like it was doing that when it was larger. Maybe not, though. Yeah, it's just not generating the edges. Oh, yep. I was gonna say I don't. I was gonna say the captain is so vague because that's all I see. I don't see like the actual channel name other than the captain. I was like, ah. I mean, I wouldn't say it sounds familiar, but Mega Rayquaza definitely sounds familiar. And Josh, wait, what do you mean, Josh? You got me? Are you talking about like the add-on like this? Because I really don't. I every time I try to do this, oh, it's a component? No way. For items or for blocks? I know it used to be a component in like an older version, but then they removed the whole render offset thing. So now I'm trying to sit here and do it with attachables and custom geometry, which is kind of annoying. I just want to downscale the item. That's all I want. Because like if I remove the whole attachable thing, and I guess it's not going to let me. Here, hold up. I don't know why Bridge is being so buggy right now. Minecraft hand equipped? I tried the hand equipped though. I thought it didn't do anything. Maybe it did. Because it's set to true right now. Although I don't know why this is not letting me modify this. Yeah, making an add-on for Bedrock is like, I mean, it's definitely a lot easier than Java, but at the same time, you have to think outside of the box to do certain things, and that's the part that's hard. Also, I don't know why it's on subscriber only mode right now. That was not intended. Tool tags? Like the pickaxe tags? I don't remember exactly what those were. Is tool? Well, isn't that still going to make it big though? I'm going to delete this, this, and this, and this. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, see? It's way too big. But it does fix the sides. think. Yeah. See how the sides are like gray right now? When I was using that custom model, it got rid of the sides and made them transparent, which I don't know why that's happening. I mean, I could technically code a generator that just generates a model for each and every item. I just really don't want to do that. But I mean, I guess it wouldn't be that hard. I've already done it before. But it's only in like, no, it's in first person too. It's just so big. Yeah, I don't really know why it. This is a texture. It's just a 256 by 256 texture, so it's just like, because it's such a big resolution, it just like makes it so big. And using bridge, it says something like, here, let me check. It has this documentation for high resolution items. So like you could see this is like a 64 by 64 item. And it says you've noticed an issue with higher resolution items though. They end up looking larger rather than more detailed. And so that's what I was trying to do. But it basically like uses a custom render controller for the item and an attachable, which basically just allows you to run an animation when you're holding that item so that it can rescale the item in the hand with this right here. So I can like adjust the scale, adjust the rotation and the position. But it just seems like it's broken when I do this. So I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess I could try again. Um, large. Oh, wait, no. I need to make a models folder. And then inside of here, we'll make a large item.geo.json. What the? Oh, it's because I never closed out of these. I can't use a 16 by 16 texture because of the resolution of the texture itself. You notice right here, when I generate the icons, I need to have these symbols right here. And some of the symbols are like 3 characters long. And to fit 3 characters on a single texture is like really hard. The third viewer might be me. I'm not gonna lie. On the stream settings, it says I have 3 concurrent viewers, but then it also says in the bottom on the analytics that it's 2 concurrent viewers. So I'm assuming it's just me being in the YouTube studio. Yeah, it sucks that I can't use a 16 by 16. If I did, I don't think that's a high enough resolution to be able to to be able to see the symbols as like an actual text. Because I think, let's see, if I downscale this any more, we could go like 64 by 64. I guess that doesn't look horrible. Yep, I should be going to sleep, honestly. But you have a great day too. It's 2 a.m. Oh my gosh. It's 12 p.m. right now for me. But I'm just so tired. And speaking of that, I actually have to go let the dog out for a little bit. So I'm going to do that in probably like a couple minutes. But yeah, you have a good one. So yeah, 64 by 64 doesn't look horrible. I guess that would probably make the item a lot smaller. But I'm just concerned about like what element has like three text. Any of them? I don't think so. Yeah, I could put the name in the lore. That's something I was going to do. It's just like when you have the issue was that like so with how many elements there are, they all don't have unique colors. A lot of them have the same colors because I just went with colors that um are represented on the periodic table itself. So like helium and whatever holmium are pretty much the same color. It's a slightly different shade of pink, but like some people might not even see that difference. And it's for things like that where when you have a chest full of all the elements, I don't want them to get confused and be like, "Oh, which one's helium?" and just have to go off a color, you know? It's like looking for a spawn egg, but like some mods don't change the color from the default bridge color, so it's like then you're just kind of looking at the same color and kind of having to look at every single one until you find the right one. And that's why I wanted to add the icons, because then in game, I just like look at this and I'm like, oh, AC, I know what that is. It's well, I don't know what that is, but it's actinium. Yeah, but you have to hover over it, which is the issue. It's like I don't want them to have to hover over it. Because like, let's say I have a chest and the whole chest is like that. Like it's just completely full of different elements, but they're all the same color. You don't know exactly which one it is. That's a lot of items to have to like go and hover over, like, oh, which one's iron? And imagine if you had to do that for like 20 different elements to go craft something. It's like, okay, I need to find iron. Found it. Now I need to find gold. Found it. Whereas with the icons, if you know the icons, it's like, oh, iron, gold, diamond, whatever. And that's like the whole point of it. And plus the Java mod also does the symbols on it. I know there's a way to make it smaller, and back in the day they used to have this component called render offsets, which I'm not exactly sure what happened to it. It got deprecated for something. But if I go to 16.100, this is where the render offset existed. But it doesn't show it anymore. I think they just got rid of it. Yeah, so I'm on Discord right now, looking at the addons Discord, just trying to see, maybe I could see like someone talking about it, but they're all talking about the same solution that I'm using with the model thing. Holding an item, but the item is no. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to fix it other than this whole large item model thing. Here, I'm gonna just try to take the L and come back to the problem after making the other stuff. That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Because I'm going to be generating the files for that anyways. So right now I'm in Unity, the game engine, just so I could like make some scripts to generate the files for me. And that's kind of where I was like, if I could figure out how to get it working, then I could go ahead and do like I could make a script that just generates the attachable file and all that stuff for me. Because I don't need a model for each item. I just need one large item model that works. And then I need the attachable, but the attachable does have to have an attachable file for every single one. And so I'm going to turn off the generate icons so I don't accidentally overwrite them. And then we'll make another script. So this one's going to be called item file generator. And then we'll basically just code it to generate a simple file so that we can have them all in game. So if I look at here, actually, wait a minute. How did I set this up? Okay, I didn't touch the metals. No, not that I'm aware of. Because anything UI related, there is no events for, which really sucks. Because that's one of the big things people want. Is like when you open an inventory, they want an event for that so that we could force close the inventory for certain reasons. Like if you're making a map and they like open a chest, but you want to TP them somewhere else. You don't want them like accidentally grabbing items or depositing their stuff before they get TP'd, like stuff like that. I'll take this list of elements. Matter of fact, I'm just going to take the flask. So public flask. Flask. These should be public. Yep. And then we'll do a public text asset. And this will be item default or default item JSON. And then public void generate. And then now this is where it's going to be a little more difficult. Because I need to generate it. Well, I guess I don't have to generate it in the right folders. Nature. I want to switch that. Yeah, there's a few things that kind of sucks about Bedrock's API. It's still so limited. It's definitely came a long way, but it's not nearly as good as I would hope. Like I feel like it should have been prioritized a long time ago. They put it off for a while, and then when they finally got to it, it was like now they're deprecating everything else, which is taking more time. Whereas if they just started with the scripting API, because that's kind of like how Forge is. With Forge, you make items by registering the items in script. You don't, it's kind of like custom components now with JavaScript for the Bedrock edition, but that's how you made items in general on Java. So like if they just went that route from the beginning, then JavaScript would have been so much better. But now they're constantly having to change things, and they're probably going to have to do that in the future anyways. Okay, so now this is where I need to go ahead and add a new file in here. Call it text assets. I mean, if you ever need help with scripting, scripting isn't an issue for me. I know pretty much everything I need to know. I mean, I guess I will say that there's a few things like async stuff that I still struggle with, but for the most part, if I just ask ChatGPT how async works with JavaScript, then it'll give me a good pointer, and then I can just go from there. Show and Explorer. And then this will be item.json. Then in here, I'm going to copy that item thing and we'll switch this out to be identifier. Okay. And then for each element in Flask dot elements. Getting your add-on on the marketplace is a little difficult just because they so you have to have a registered business and then you have to become a partner with Microsoft with that business. And then only that company can start making add-ons. And so the best bet is to work for someone and try to get them to publish it for you. So, because it's a lot of work to get. Because just because you have a business and you're like able to have a business does not mean that they're going to accept you, because they need to see exceptional work coming from your business. So it's like, not only do you have to have a lot of time and experience, you have to have like a whole website, you have to have a business, you have to have somewhat of a following. If you don't have a good business, then um then once you have all that, then you can post whatever you want. But otherwise, you're going to have to go through another publisher, which is someone that's already partnered that are just trying to get add-ons through them. So you would take a cut, they would take a cut out of your profits, and Minecraft also takes 50%. So imagine you're only getting 25% because you made the add-on, you want a publisher to post it for you, you make a deal with them, and then they the publisher would post it for you because they're able to, and then they get 25% of the profit, you get 25%, and then Minecraft takes the other 50. I mean, I guess it really depends, because sometimes the publisher might even try to take more, but it's really up to you because it's your add-on. But yeah, finding publishers in general is also pretty hard, just because there's not that many. If you ever notice, there are quite a bit of publishers, but they all are like people that aren't really going to post other people's stuff. So the ones that are posting other people's stuff, you'll notice like there's a bunch of skyblock maps and stuff. And if you look at the publisher that's posting it, they have a bunch of add-ons. They'll have like 100 of them. And that's because a lot of people will reach out to them and be like, hey, I can't post them myself. Is there a way we can make a deal where I can publish it through you? We split the profits and everything. And then they don't have to really do any work. It's more on you. So a lot of the times they'll say yeah. Or maybe not a lot of times, but they will say yeah occasionally. String text is equal to default item json.text. And then we will do text.replace. Replace identifier with element dot name. What did I use for the names? Data. I see. Element.name, and then I'm going to make a script to, or a function. Public string name to ID. And we'll make it take into name, and then we'll return name dot to lower, and then dot replace all spaces with underscores. And then we'll use that. So name to ID. There we go. And then that gives us our text. So then let's make a private string item files path is get return path dot combine application dot data path, and then items. Yep, just like that. And then before we run this, we want to say if items file or directory dot exists items file path. No, if it doesn't exist, then we'll do directory dot create directory. Then here we want to do file dot write all text. Write the text. Actually, no, we want to write it to a path. So let's do string identifier is equal to, I'll just pull this out right here. And then we'll pass it in, and then we'll do, we want to write it to a new path. So string path is equal to path.combine items file path and identifier and plus dot JSON. So path and then text. There we go. And we'll call this on awake. Generate. All awake does is it runs before any of the other scripts run. So, I mean, I could do that or start. It doesn't really matter. Then in Canvas, I'm going to go ahead and drag this script onto the game object. Item file generator. Drag that. And then we'll go into text assets and drag item. Okay. So now if I press play, it should, in theory, generate all the files. Let's see. Items. And look at that. I just generated, how many is this? 115 item files. Item JSONs. So, reveal. Right? It really speeds up the process. That would have took so long to do manually. There we go. Now, not all of these have textures though, so now I do have to write some code to generate the texture file. So like this item texture dot JSON. Let's go ahead and do that next. So back to Unity. We'll do show and explorer. Item texture, and I guess this doesn't have to be a JSON file. It can be a TXT file. It doesn't really matter. No, that's gross. I like it when it opens in VS Code. There we go. So now right here, we're going to also pass in the identifier. Or actually, wait. Yeah. Identifier. Because that'll be the texture name. Or actually, I'll just call it that. Texture name. And then this right here is going to be the identifier. And I'll copy that out. And then we'll also add one right here, which is going to be called texture datas. Because we're going to replace this right here with an array of strings. And all the array of strings is going to be is like these individual things where it's the JA and then the identifier of the item and then the path of the texture. And we're going to generate all that into an array and then append it in replacement of this. So what we can do is public string, and we'll call this item texture data string identifier and string for the, well, actually, no, we just need the identifier. So, return trying to remember how this all works now. Oh, there we go. I didn't know you could just paste stuff like that. And then we will replace the identifier with the identifier, and then we'll also replace the texture name. And I don't know why I really renamed it to texture name, because honestly it is just going to be the identifier. Okay, so item texture data. So that gives us that. So now we want to make a list of strings, and we're going to call this item texture datas. And we'll also have a no, this is going to be public, another text asset, because this one is going to be our item texture. Item texture JSON. And then we should be able to just come down here, and every time we get to this point, we can do item texture datas.add, and then we'll just pass in item texture data and then pass in the identifier. And down here, we could do string item texture JSON text is equal to default item JSON.text, item texture JSON.text dot replace. We're going to replace, what was it again? Texture datas with item texture datas dot to array. Nope. Oh wait. Dot join maybe? No. So this is going to be string all item texture datas is equal to string dot join, and we'll just see what this looks like. all texture datas, and then we'll actually add that. Okay, yeah, we'll see what this looks like. And then file.writeAllText path.combine. We'll do application.dataPath and then item textures.json. I think that's what that file was called, right? Textures item underscore texture.json. Yep. And then we will use the item texture JSON text. Okay, now if I run this, it should in theory generate that texture file now. It might be the wrong formatting though. Item texture. Wait, what? Okay, something's off. Oh, because I used the wrong template. Item texture JSON. Okay, now let's try it. Item texture. Yep, that's true. I forgot. I have not assigned it yet. There we go. Now let's try it. No? Okay, so what's going on in here? So that for sure should be working. Texture datas. Item texture JSON. And if I go ahead and look, yep. Texture datas. Ah, that's why. I had to do that is equal to this because I wasn't actually setting the variable. It's going to take its sweet time to load, isn't it? There we go. Now let's try. I still think the formatting is going to be off. Like the end of the lines are going to be all jumbled, but it technically will work. Unless it adds one too many comments, which it might. Or commas. Let's see. It definitely worked. I just need 1, 2 spacing at the beginning. So what is the spacing key? C#. Tab in a string. It is oh, it's /t. Okay. I'm going to run this again, and if it works, then I got to go let the dog out. Let's see. Don't save. I want to maybe reopen it. Aha! It worked. Okay, then I should be able to just take this file. Like, let's close most of these. It's going to be this item texture.json. And then we'll go over here. Oh, wait. We will paste that right here. Replace items, textures, flasks. Sorted by type, so I'm not copying all those. Okay, so now, in theory, if I close bridge, reopen it, because for some reason it's glitching again. Gosh, I have so many projects in bridge that it takes so long to load. I wouldn't say it takes so long, it's just super laggy. I think I called this large item. Yep. No, wait, what? It didn't work? Okay, it didn't because I think I forgot to do something. Yep. Text is equal to this. So I did the same thing. I just forgot to double check that it actually worked. Okay, so now if I go ahead and take all of these, go back into bridge, go here into items, and replace all 115 items. There we go. Close that. Open bridge. And then... Oh, is it supposed to be items? It is. Shoot. Okay, one more change. Item. Rename this to items. And see, this is exactly why I'm making the refresh. Oh, in bridge? Is that what you're talking about? The mistake I made was so when I'm replacing parts of the string, I forgot to reassign the variable. So I was replacing it, but I was never assigning that string to a new variable, I guess. So I was like thinking that I replaced it, but in reality I didn't. Well, I would have if I assigned it to a new variable. I forgot to do that. But no, I do need a refresh and bridge, but the issue was I renamed the category to item instead of items, and I didn't realize. But imagine having to go through this all 115 items, changing that one letter. See, that's the exact reason I made that generator, because I was able to just fix all of that within a second. So now if I go to Unity, grab all of these, and then recopy them over here. Now I refresh and bridge. There we go. Okay, so there might be one item that might have an error, but for the most part, they're all going to give me an error. Oh my gosh. Well, that was unexpected. I thought it was just going to be one, but I think I know why. I think it's because I accidentally changed the format version to 1.16.100 when I was just describing how it used to have the render offset. Yep. So now I have to regenerate it again, but see, little things like that. Grab all of these. Drag it on there, replace, open bridge, refresh. Okay, now we try it. Should be one error, max. None? That's a good sign. Let's see. There we go. Look at that. We got every element on the periodic table. I mean, they look good. Oh, I forgot. I have to make the name file too. I mean, yeah, I make money off of the ads that's on my downloads. But that's about it. I don't really make much. And I do work for a marketplace creator, I think. Well, I did work for him, so I did make money off of that, but it wasn't my add-on. I was kind of just making what he wanted. It was a paid thing. But I mean, I could definitely see if you get a bunch of views or a bunch of downloads on an add-on, you could make probably quite a bit of money off of just the ads. Was what part good money? The ads or the marketplace thing? Because the marketplace thing is, I definitely made a lot more off of that, but I wouldn't say good money. Like if I'm comparing it to minimum wage in my state, I was probably making less than minimum wage on average. But that's just because it's like I get paid per item that I make. So it's like I can't really specify exactly how much I made, but I'll just say that minimum wage is probably $16 an hour, about there in my state here in United States, and it would have been paying less than that. Not much less. Like it depended on what I made, because if I made something really quickly, I could have been making more than double minimum wage. It was just like some of the things that I was asked to make would take a lot longer than others. So if I averaged all the time that I spent making everything, I would say it's probably less than minimum wage. If not, it's probably around minimum wage. So it wasn't like bad. It's definitely a lot more than I was making on ads. I'm from Oregon, so right above California. But I think ads, well, I guess I made more money off of the marketplace thing in total, but the ads, it's like I haven't made an add-on in forever, honestly. Well, I make add-ons, I just don't post them because I never complete them. But if I were to complete them all and post them, I'm sure I probably would have made like 10 times the amount from just the ads than I did on the whole marketplace thing through all the things I made. It's just, I don't know if you post add-ons as well. If you do, then I'm sure you probably use Linkvertise or Loot Labs or one of those link shorteners. And so you probably know what I'm talking about when I say the ad revenue. You don't know where to put it? I put it on MCPEDL.com. I just posted it there and then used a link shortener for the download to where they have to like complete steps, like by watching an ad or whatever to get to the download, and you get paid for that. Although it's because it's ads really don't pay much, and it's gonna be paying you less than YouTube would pay for an ad. So I think when I first post the add-on and I get like 1,000 downloads or whatever, that gets me probably $15. It's not very much. But the thing with the downloads is that I haven't made an add-on in forever, and I still make like at least a cent a day. So if you think about if you were to continuously just make a small update to keep it up to date, yeah, it's pretty bad. And you were um it's more of like how YouTube is. YouTube, you don't really make a lot of money off of single videos if you're posting them. But over time, if you have 1,000 videos and they're all just getting like 100 downloads or 100 views, that starts to add up because you have so much content just backlogged on your page. And that's the same with the add-ons. It's like if you had a bunch of add-ons posted, then they'd constantly be getting downloads even 10 years from now, probably. And you'd still be making, well, maybe not 10 years, but like in a year from now, you'd still be making money off of all of the add-ons. And so even though it's just like that much money, you can make a bunch of goofy add-ons, like make something for manhunts. So like just make a couple OP weapons and be like OP weapons for manhunts or something, and it'll take you like 10 minutes to make, and then you post it, and in a year from now that'll still be getting you like 10 cents a day just because it's a small little add-on that people think are funny. So you just like continue that, have like 100 to a few hundred add-ons, small add-ons, and then you also have your big add-ons that you work on that people download regularly, and it could definitely add up. But I don't know, maybe it's just the link shorteners, because Loot Labs is supposed to be the better one. Linkvertise, I think MCPEDL just banned, like you're not allowed to use it anymore, because they started doing like you had to pay money to start getting the downloads, and there was no way to opt out of that. So they just like were like, no, we don't want our users to have to pay to download stuff. So we all switched to Loot Labs, and then Loot Labs pays more, but it's like I feel like it's more inconsistent. I don't really know. I was getting more right when I switched, but I feel like I'm not making anything now. But at the same time, you have to think I wasn't ever relying on that money. I knew it wasn't a lot. So it was just kind of like every month or two, I'd get an extra $50 in my account, in my bank. I'd be like, oh, okay. That's cool. Like I'm not doing anything for it. Because like I haven't made any updates to those add-ons. Not that I'm aware of. But I mean, that has got to be the most I've made out of anything, like when it comes to uh a non-paid position, like from ads in general. Because like I've had ads on YouTube. I don't have ads on this channel, but I've had ad revenue, so I've seen like what you can make on that. I know what Twitch's revenue is. I know what the Linkvertise. I know what the Loot Labs makes. I know um what else? Google Ads. When I made Unity games for mobile, I know what that made. And overall, Loot Labs definitely pays the most out of everything that I've seen when it comes to ads. Maybe YouTube pays more, but YouTube, it's also a lot easier for people to like when you're relying on downloads, it's a lot harder to get money because someone has to download the thing. Whereas if it's a view, it's like you get 1,000 views. That's a lot easier to get than 1,000 downloads. So it's just easier to get more money. And I think it pays more. But excluding YouTube, I think Loot Labs, like if you're just trying to make something like on the side, it's still worth looking into. I wouldn't say replace your job with it. You'd probably starve. Especially in Cali, dude. There's no way. In Cali, everything's got to be so expensive. I mean, even here in Oregon is somewhat expensive just because of all our neighboring states being so much worse. Because Cali's minimum wage is higher than ours. Yeah, Patreon would be good. I don't make stuff consistently enough to like really have people want a Patreon for me, I guess. But like I guess if you're making like a good add-on or something and people really wanted it, you could just be like, "Hey, I don't make enough money to keep working on this right now. So if you really really want this, just subscribe to the Patreon and I'll if I keep getting people on the Patreon, that'll fund my time on the development side." And I'm sure some people would do it if it's a good enough add-on. I always wanted to make a really good add-on, but I'll make like one or two things that are really, really good, really advanced, and then I just like don't want to make all the rest of it because it's like so much work. Because when you look at these Java mods that are so good, you have to remember they've been out for almost a decade. Like they're old. They've been worked on for so long. Like Tinker's Construct, Mechanism, Botania, all these mods have been around for so long, just constantly being updated. So like it really does take time to make a really good add-on. It's not always going to start off good either. And I also feel like Bedrock's a little worse because Bedrock people don't like spending money on anything. I've noticed every time like Minecraft releases add-ons or whatever they do, people just complain like, I don't want to spend money on the game. That's ridiculous. It's like, come on, guys. I understand you don't want to spend money, no one does, but like if you want the add-ons to be good, you have to either the developer has to make money. Otherwise, you're going to end up with Tinker's Construct again because that the developer stopped making the Java mod for because he just wasn't making money. And then the only reason it's around is because other people picked it up and started porting it because people really liked it. But the original devs don't even work on it anymore, I don't think. And that's the same with any other add-on or any mod. It's like they have to make money somehow. And on Java, Minecraft has it in the EULA that you're not allowed to make money off of mods. So the only way is like the marketplace. So I'm all in favor of the marketplace. I just think I've played enough marketplace maps and add-ons to know that, and plus I know how to make add-ons, and so I just know it's so limited that I would not advise anyone buying add-ons at this moment. I would say wait until scripting gets a lot better because it feels like a scam. But at the same time, these add-ons are probably going to be updating as well. So if you do buy them, you're not really wasting money because eventually they will, when the scripts get better, then the add-ons will keep getting better. So you kind of just bought something for like an, I don't know, to make sure it gets better. But yeah, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go let the dog out and then I'll be back and I'll try to get the item names all figured out and some other stuff. Yeah, no problem. If you ever need anything here, I don't have, I don't think I have my Discord linked on here, but I could try to find my, you know, it's probably, I don't know if you are able to join a public Discord like my Discord, or if you'd rather just add me on Discord, it's probably easier. Because I feel like I respond to messages way more likely than I am to actually look at my Discord. Just because of how many people are, or not how many people are in my Discord. There's like no one in it, but I'm in so many different Discords that it's like I never even notice when people are pinging me in my own. So here, I'll get my Discord just in case you end up like having to go or something. Shoot, I don't. Streamer mode? Why? It is. Oh, it's literally just Jaden Allen. Okay. Here, I'll pin it or something. That is my username. So you can add me, and then I'll send you the server invite if you want it. It doesn't matter. But either way, you could just ask me for stuff, and I could help. Because I know more about scripting than I do about the JSON stuff when it comes to Minecraft. Because I just was always more interested in like what I could do with scripting. So I know pretty much everything around that. Yeah, I'm in a Discord that you might be able to start finding people in. Like I might be able to send you a couple Discords that might help you out in finding not only resources, but there's another Discord with less people. So I don't know how well it's doing, but I saw that they just recently added like a looking for jobs and commissions type thing that maybe you could like look into that and just see if people are commenting in there, then maybe you could start doing commissions. If not, then maybe I don't know, maybe you could find someone else throughout the Discord. I don't know. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people making add-ons. But I'll be right back. All right. I am back. So, where was I? Okay, he sent me a. Wait, which one is your Discord? Which Discord? What? I have two people that added me, so I'm just curious. Yo, what's up? Okay, got it. Um. Okay, so I wanted to fix the names, I think. If I want any help with my add-on, uh, it depends on what you're offering, because like I'm sure there's gonna be tons of stuff I need help with, but like I could technically do it myself. So yeah, it depends on what you're able to do, and I mean, I'll always accept help. Because I think like the main thing I'm good at is just scripting. I'm not good at like making the like understanding the whole JSON. That I understand it. I know how to use JSON, but like I'm not up to date with what the JSON property, because they kept deprecating stuff, and that's when I kind of like stopped caring. I was like, okay, I'm done making new items and blocks and all this. I'm just gonna make scripts that do crazy things. So like a world generation script or something. Everything else, yeah. Do you know how to make a large image item be like a small item? Because like when I made a 256 texture item, when it's in my hand, it's just giant. I don't know how to fix it. I have documentation from Bridge that tells me how to fix it, but it like was kind of glitchy and it was like backwards and stuff. To where this is another thing. Like I'm sure I could fix it myself. It's gonna take time. Hand equipped? Man, I have hand equipped though. Do I not? Here, let me check. Hand equipped is true, and I have a tag for is tool. But yet, if I load into it, here, hold on. Let me load into it. Every single one of these. I know, that's what you said. If I check and put it in my hand, look how big this is. I need such high res to render the text on top of the item. And like when I use the custom item model for it to fix it, it like it works kind of. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I might have to make a custom geo. I can code a generator that'll generate them all, but I'm really not trying to manually make 115 geos. Like I've already wrote code that like takes a texture, so you know how like items automatically generate a 3D model in Minecraft? Well, I wanted to be able to like have models from the items, so I made a one geo for everything. Oh yeah, I could do that. But the issue was that it required the attachable. Well, I mean, I guess that's not an issue. I could still do that. The issue was here. I guess I could try to fix it real quick. We'll just go in here. We have the large item geo. And this is the geo that, what is it? This bedrock.dev shows me. It gives me the geo. It gives me the render controller. So real quick, let me just make that. Render controllers. Then we'll create a file. We'll call it large item .json. I don't remember what it was supposed to be called. Render controllers. Render controllers. And this does somewhat fix it. It just, I don't know. You'll see in a sec. Watch it just like actually fix it this time though. That's good. That's still good. And then I need the animation. Oh. Oh, wait, no, I need the attachable. Actually, attachable. Copy that. And then this will be the, whoa, what the? That, and then the texture is that. It's saying I don't have the enchanted item glint texture, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't matter because it still probably works. I don't know. And then the geometry, the animations. Now I just have to add that. Animation. This one was called large item. So there we go. Now that should fix it for that one item. Or, well, it shouldn't fix it. That was the whole issue. Actinium geometry not found. Why? Projects. Nope. Yep, no problem, bro. You have a good one. Um, So there's the animation. There's the model. Model looks good. Why is it saying that then? What's up, Rapology? How's it going? This looks good to me too. I was getting the same error and I don't remember how I fixed it. I did fix it though. Oh, wait. I put this in entity. I don't think that's what did it though. Here, let's try it. Models. Entity. Okay, so now let's try. Okay, no errors. It's a good sign. Now if I take this, and then I also take this, now we got this thing, and it's giant, bro. But this one is the one that we just fixed. And see how it's like, it looks almost fine. It's just, notice how on these edges, it's like see-through. But it's not on the big version. So I think it's something to do with that custom model is like, it's getting rid of the sides of the thing. And I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know if it's just a bug. Because if I check the model, the one thing that had me slightly concerned was this texture meshes. I've never seen that in a model from Blockbench. So, and I don't think that's what it is, because if I remove it, it still works. I'm pretty sure it's just this right item right here. But for some reason, scaling it down is like making it transparent, or I don't know. It's very strange. Oh, I can't even see it in my hand. So I guess I do have to have that. Huh. I wonder why. Okay, so let's go to the sample pack from Minecraft and see what they say about it. Bedrock samples. Okay, so if we go into resource pack, models, entity, should be a humanoid. Well, there's also item sprite. Wonder if that's what it is. No, there's no way. Humanoid. Why can't I find human? It's not. Oh, no player. Am I just not seeing it? Husk and then straight to that. That's so weird. I thought they gave you the thing. Bedrock. What? I guess I could open the zip. Yeah, no, it just doesn't exist. There's like NPC and stuff. I guess all I'm really looking for is just the model. So I guess let's look to see maybe the what holds an item very distinctly. Probably the skeleton. That's probably a good one. So right arm, right item. Yeah, there is no mesh. Never render? Huh? Why would it never render the arm or the right item? I'm not quite sure that makes sense. I mean, I guess I could check zombie. I just want to say, well, yeah, because it's going to be the right hand. Or no, it's not. I might have to just code a 3D model generator for it. I don't want to do that. I mean, I could probably have ChatGPT do that for me, to be honest. So then we got the wither skeleton. Right item. It's also never render. Okay, but if I check the large item geo, we have right item. Although it is slightly strange because it is misspelled. Adds a mesh to the bone's geometry by converting texels in a texture into boxes. You know what? I think I know why it's doing that. One, it's experimental. And two, let's open up the texture. I want to open one of these textures. Okay, so let's look and zoom in. Actually, let's open this with bridge or block bench. Yep, that's why. I think it is because it's not rendering right. The render mode is trying to render these transparent pixels right here. I don't want transparency. Or maybe I do. But that's why it looks like it's cut off on the sides. Pretty sure. I don't know why it's all fixed when it's not like custom model though. But like the black is working perfectly fine. So I wonder if I go in here and I try to change the bridge folder. We'll go and modify this in Blockbench. And we'll just paint this like pure white for right now, just as a test. Because if this works, then I think I just found my issue. Okay, save, reload, open the world. It did fix it. Okay. Then good to know. I guess down here, then what I want to do is read pixels. For int x is equal to 0, render texture dot width. For int y is equal to 0. Yeah, I know I could do slash reload. I don't know. I just never liked it because when I used to use it, my game crashed every time. And I'm not sure if it's because I'm constantly modifying like 100 files at a time or what. But I also don't know if I've used it on this PC before, so maybe that's also it. Texture dot set pixel, and we're going to set XY to texture dot get pixel XY equals we're gonna pass in a new color, and then we're gonna just say color dot R, color dot G, color dot B, and then 1. Oh wait. Wait, no. We're gonna do color dot A is greater than 0f, then 1, else 0f. So that's basically just gonna make it anytime the transparency is slightly over 0, it'll just set it directly to a full transparent with the same color. And then it'll, if not, then it'll just make it fully transparent. Now I'm going to have to reload those textures again. That's fine. Icon generating, and then I come back here and we'll turn on the icon gen. Boom. Let's see. We're gonna have to wait for this for a little bit. This should definitely fix it though. And then after that's fixed, I still have to I have to fix the rotation and the scale still, because it's still a little big and it's definitely not rotated correctly. It's rotated correctly in third person, but I've tried to just copy over the third person rotation into the first person, and it's completely different. So I'm not really sure what's up with that. Okay, so now we got all our textures. So we can just come here, copy all these over here. And I'll turn off icon gen just so I don't forget. There we go. Let's see. Way better. It's like, still looks a little weird just because of the color was like going from transparent to like black. But I mean, I'll take that. I just need to figure out how to rotate it because right now it's like backwards. I'd rather it be the other way. And if I go to the animation, this is where I can change the rotation. But the issue is I don't actually know what rotation. So we've got 45 on the X. So let's just change this to 15. Let's just see. Reload all. Okay, so that's definitely not the right rotation. So let's do negative 45 on the Y. Normally it would be the Y rotation. That's like what it should be. But for some reason, Minecraft's all goofy on their animation or on their rotations. See? Like that doesn't even make sense. Why did it do that? And I could prove that right here. If I go into 3D mode, this is in like every game engine is like this. Minecraft is like just different. I don't know why. Z is always positive Z is always north in every other game. But Minecraft is negative Z is north. But everything else is the same. It's just so goofy. But yeah, if I rotate this Y, you see it rotates around. That's what I want it to do. But for some reason, it pivots so weird that it doesn't do that. X should be up and down, and Z is like sideways. But I guess what I could do is just set it to 0 on everything, maybe, and just see. Who knows if this will work? Definitely not. Yeah, you could see like this is 0 rotation, and that's the angle that it's at. And that's what I mean by like, it's just so weird. I'm not sure why it does that. It's got to be something to do with the right arm. So I have to like counteract the right arm. So trying to think. I need to literally flip the whole thing around. So if I just rotate the Y from right here, theoretically it should just rotate around, right? I don't have very high hopes for this, but... Oh. Well, that completely flipped in the wrong way. So then maybe I do 180 on the X. Let's see, is it gonna work? No. Still just as bad. Let's try 180 on the Z. I wish I could just use the 3D or the third person one. But she not work. Oh, that almost did it. Why? Why is the Z one the one? Okay, well, anyways, we need to go a little bit past that. So let's do like let's do 210. Now it's rotating. What? So then 165 maybe? That's a lot better. Let's also switch this to be like 0.5 in first person. Actually, let's do like 0.75 on the scale. And then, yeah, let's just try that. Because I think it's just so big that it's hard for me to get an idea of like exactly what I'm rotating. Oh my gosh. So now if I rotate it, let's try 15 on that. So right now it looks like that. It's like rotated like this. And that's even worse. So we need to do the opposite. So let's go like negative 25. I still need it to rotate in a different angle though, that I'm not really getting access to. Okay, so like 35, I guess. And then from there, I need to rotate it. I mean, I'll try the Y, but I don't think the Y is going to do what I want. $15. Let's see. I actually wasn't paying attention to what it was like before, so I don't think that's better though. Ooh, that was a lot better. So let's go another 35, I guess. Negative 45. We'll go negative 45 and then 155. No, it's going to be like 175. Well, actually, So we'll leave it at that, but I want to change, what was it, the X? We'll go like negative 65. Kind of want to just make it like the bell. No, that was not the way. $45. See, that's doing the exact same thing though, which is not what I want. I'm trying to rotate it like left and right. That's the big issue. But because of the whole pivot point, there is no left and right rotation. To do a left and right rotation, I have to like rotate 2 different rotations. I mean, this is good enough, honestly. If I just make it a little smaller. We'll go like just 0.5, I guess. I mean, now it's smaller than the bell, but I feel like it looks better this way anyways. Just because of the angle it's at. It's like better for reading it. Gosh, that's such a pain to just do like bigger textures on an item. Okay. But now that we got that, I'm gonna have to generate the attachable file for every single item now. Or was it the animation file? No, it was the texture file or the attachable. So we'll go to attachables, delete this out, and then go back in Unity. Attach upple JSON. Paste that in there. And then we'll do identifier. Just do identifier there as well. Okay. Now back to the C# coding. We can now probably split these things into their own separate functions just to make it more neat. So we'll do public void. No, I can't do that actually. I'll just leave it in here. So we'll do another one of these. So public text asset attachable JSON. Definitely did not spell that right. There we go. Attach bubbles. Attachable files path. copy that, create the directory, and then string attachable JSON text is equal to that, and then attachable JSON text is equal to attachable JSON text dot replace was identifier with element. Actually, I'll just call it identifier because it's going to be called that. Then we'll actually copy this, paste it in here, and then we'll say file dot write all text path dot combine attachable files path with identifier plus dot JSON. Then we will save that text. There we go. So now in Unity, if I go ahead and assign that, I should now get an attachable file for every item. Attachables, and there's 115. Yep, that worked. So, attachables. So now reload and bridge. Now, if we open Minecraft, every single item should be fixed. Well, I mean, they're not perfect, but they should be a lot better. Yep. See, this add-on, I've been working on it for what? How long have I been streaming? Shoot, let me check. For 2.5 hours. And in 2.5 hours, I was able to get how many files is that? If it's 115 230 345 345 files that I've generated. I mean, we could be here for a whole week for me to make all those files by scratch. That's just so much quicker. And now I need to generate the names. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to resource pack, text, then we'll grab the English because that's the only names I have for it. I'll drag that into Unity. What? Put it in text assets. Oh, I didn't even need to copy that. I just need this string anyways. So list string. We're going to call it item lang names. Doesn't really matter what I call it. Item lang's name dot add. Then we'll just append these right in here. So identifier and element dot name. And at the very end, we'll do file dot write all text path dot combine application. Whoa, spelling is real bad. What is happening? Application dot data path, and then we'll combine that with, what was the name of the file? en underscore us dot lang. And then the contents is going to be item name langs string dot join new line. There we go. Now if I run that, it should technically work. En underscore us. Yep. So we'll just copy that into the bridge folder. Refresh. And then reload all. Now all of our items should have the correct name. There we go. Now, I don't know how much more I'm going to do on this stream. I might just do like a couple more things and then I'll end stream. It's been a little while and I got another stream I have to go do on a different account. And so I think next stream when I work on this, I just want to like kind of like get in the mind space of like what I'll be doing. So I think I'm going to do like I'm going to try to rework the elements a little bit so that I can make sure that they generate like ores for the elements. So like let's say iron. I want iron to have a dust version. So I want it to generate an iron dust and then any other metal element. So like aluminum, I want it to generate not only an ore, but I also want an ingot, I want a nugget, and I want a block, and I want it to generate the dust again. So I'm gonna have to like go in there and specify all the different metals out of all of these. And then the rest of them, I'm gonna have to figure out like which ones would be crystals or gems, and then specify like individual textures that they'll generate with, all that kind of stuff. And it'll be pretty easy for like dusts, ingots, ores, and all that for me to generate textures. It's just a lot of work. It's not hard. Well, okay, it's not a lot of work. It's just time consuming because I have to set everything up. But as a basic idea and understanding of how it works, is imagine I take a black and white texture where all black is where I do not want to write a pixel. And then I generate a new texture checking every pixel and being like, okay, well, this texture says that it's white here, so I can replace it with a certain color. And then I could also use the stone texture. Like, okay, so this example is for like the iron texture. Let's say the ingot. We can open it really quick. Actually, let's open it in Blockbench. This will be pretty easy to describe when I have it open. And we'll actually look at the ore, not the ingot. No. I don't know what we'll look at. We'll look at something. Game dev, Minecraft, Bedrock, samples, resource, textures, items. Here, we'll just do the apple because it's colored already, so it kind of gives you an idea of exactly what's happening. So let's go ahead and edit image. So what I would do is I would come in here, and this part would be manual. I would come in here and adjust the brightness and contrast. Actually, no. Yeah, no. I'd come down to saturation and then adjust the saturation until it looks like this. So now it's a black and white image. There is no actual color to it. Then I just increase the brightness until the whitest pixel ends up being as white as possible. And then I stop. So like right around there, this pixel right here is about as white as possible. And then now I could technically come in with some pixels and be like, okay, so wherever is transparent, I won't write a pixel. And wherever it's not transparent, I can generate a color and multiply that color with the color that already is here. So it's going to basically do the same as if I come in here with these curves and let's drag red up, kind of like that, and then green down a bit, blue down, kind of like that. So like that. It's the same as me, like, if I just multiply the two colors, that gives me, like, it almost makes this black and white image act as, like, a opacity map that would be applied on top of the image. So, like, the white is going to be the color that I'm multiplying it with, whereas the black is going to be, like, a darker shade of it. And so if I do that for the ingot texture, since iron ingot's already basically just a white and black texture, it already works with that. And so I can just multiply that with the color that I want the ingot to be, and then do that. So what I mean by like time consuming is I have to set up the black and white textures for everything. Then I have to code everything. And then I also have to redo the colors, because right now the flasks, they are using colors that are represented by the periodic table, not by the actual element itself. So like, let's say iron, which is right here. It is red in game in the flask, but if I were generating the dust for it, I don't want it to be red. That doesn't make sense. Same with, well, aluminum, that color does work. Some of these, I'm just going to basically set up a secondary color. And the secondary color will be for the ores or the gem or whatever gets generated from the element. And then some of these aren't even going to have anything else to them. They're just going to be crafting recipes or used in crafting recipes. Like if I find hydrogen, the whole point of the add-on pack that I'm making, with it being in the universe, so you start in space, or what I'd like to call space. It's just a super flat with this block, and you'll mine all these blocks. You'll get your quarks, and atoms are made of quarks, electrons, and gluons. Basically, like if you're going all the way down, because really an atom is made of neutrons and protons and stuff in the nucleus, but to make that, those are made of electrons, up quarks, down quarks, and gluons. So those are the really smallest things. And so you start here and you get those things, and then you combine them until you get your atoms. So there, I just got an atom. And then you would make hydrogen with the atom. It'd be like that or something, like some recipe for that, and then you'd be able to make hydrogen. Then from hydrogen, you combine like a few hydrogen together with some other stuff, and then you have a sun. Then that'll be a block that you can place, or it's not a block, it'll be an item that if you use it, it'll drop elements. So just like how this drops a random loot table of this, the sun is going to drop a random loot table of elements. And then from that, once you get enough elements to craft an earth block, then you'll use the earth block, and then that'll TP, it'll work as like a dimension thing, and it'll TP you up to like, what is it, 64 or something. Oh shoot. Okay, so it was not 64. Ignore that. Oh no. Oh my gosh. I really need to remove the code that's making me do this. Okay, well, it's literally just a super flat world. So let me go in creative and hope that it'll let me fly a little bit. Yep. Kinda. But yeah, so it's just a custom super flat where if I go all the way down / game mode spectator, at Y level 0 or about Y level 0, maybe it's Y level 1, there is another layer of bedrock. So there's 2 layers, one all the way at negative 64, and then in between that is all space blocks, and then above that secondary bedrock is stone, and then you get the top layer of grass. And then I'll write some scripts to generate like custom trees and stuff on the super flat, so it's not like just super flat. I don't think I'll do like structures and stuff because the mod pack that I am basing this off of didn't have that, but it will have trees. It'll have what else? Trees. I'll possibly write an ore generation script so that the super flats stone actually generates with some ores. And then there's going to be a lot of add-ons that I'm going to have to make for this, because first I'm making this universe add-on, and then since I've already got that kind of laid out, now I have to make that alchemistry add-on so that I could kind of like craft the hydrogen, because I need hydrogen now to be able to like make the recipe for it. And so then maybe I won't even do ores. Maybe I'll just do, I'm not sure. There's going to be a lot of stuff I have to make. But the ultimate goal will be the singularity. And the other thing is, I guess in the quest book for the original mod pack, it says something like the whole goal is to create your universe. Like Earth doesn't exist. You have to craft Earth and then make it a thing. And then you can like be a god in this world. Like it's really just playing Minecraft on a super flat, but you could treat it like a god because it's just a super flat. It's a plain world that you crafted. And so I just thought, like, as I was thinking about it, I was like, you know what? I could probably code most of that stuff in Bedrock. Let me just do it. So I've been doing it. And so far, I still don't know what, like, I feel like I could do it. It's just a lot of work. So it's going to be something that I stream so that I stay a little bit consistent on it. But yeah. I'm going to be streaming over on a different account on Twitch, though. So anyone that's watching, I understand you're probably not going to watch, but that's all good. I'm just saying it now because, like, that's what I'm going to be doing for, like, anytime I play games, I'll be doing it on a different account from now on. Whether that's a VODs channel for this account, I'm not sure. I'll be streaming. I think that's everything for me. I'm tired. My name's not tired, but I'm tired. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.